I'm just getting to grips with website 1 at the moment, and just sort of mostly watching other people while I get some vague kind of feel for what's going on inside it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you lead.
Okay. I see. I don't know if I can, if my screen share works, because yesterday it didn't. Let me see.
That didn't quite seem to work.
No, it didn't seem like. I don't know what happened. It used to work. What editor are you on?
Which text editor you mean?
Yeah.
Sublime.
So, because I totally, if pairing, I totally like TextMate. No, not TextMate. Damn it, Teammate.
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 I've never encountered it.
It's on the, well, you would normally use a VI. And Teammate is a service where you can just publish a URL, and then you connect with SSH to this URL, and then you have this exact same editor, like if it were on your machine. And this means all these fuzzy screen size things which arise with this Google Hangouts isn't a problem.
Yeah, sounds like it would save bandwidth as well.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of.
But that said, do I need to know how to use Vi to use it?
Pardon?
So, do I need to? Do you say it sort of works with Vi?
Exactly.
Because I'm aware of Vi. I have not started learning it yet, and from what I understand, it's quite a steep curve.
Yeah, you have to get used to it. I mean, if you use Sublime, then I guess it's not.
It's very different from anything else.
So 1 sec, my dad's saying something.
Well, I'm not. I think I've got your manuals lying around. It's extremely different from anything else.
Yeah, well, it has a reputation for being something for kind of serious coders, which I would love to do. I'd love to get that status symbol under my belt. But, yeah, so sorry, I'm back now. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how hard is. You know, obviously, having not used it, we could try it if you like.
I think I'd like a first step to get ahead with this screen sharing stuff, because I think most of the people do the screen sharing with Google Hangouts. And because if this doesn't work, then we should take some, and then it would take some extra time to get used to it, to talk about how to set up this teammate. And
yeah,
like
I mean, the other option is I could screen share and just I could do all the nominal driving at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Not really ideal.
Wait. No. You're making fun of me.
Everything but the screen share.
Here's some settings. Let's see. No, it doesn't work for me. I can press the button on and on, but nothing happens. Okay, then one thing we could do is just to, if I push the latest changes I did, and then you could just pull it.
Yeah.
And so I can navigate you. I guess. Wait, just push it. Okay. So I got it. You did Git Pong before?
Yes, although I probably need a reminder on how to set it up so that I pull from your repository.
This is exactly the same what I would think, because I ponged with GitHub. I don't know, I didn't pong for a long time.
Oh, right, okay. What's your GitHub username?
RP. Wait, I pasted. You got it in the chat? In the Hangout.
One sec. Got this big box on the right. Connection status update. Hide panel. No, that hasn't given me a chat though. Well, hello. There we go. Okay, yeah. So, would it be Git? Let's try to help. I want to be able to. What does I want to do? I want to be able to pull from your thing. I don't know. Do you have any idea if I would want a new directory in addition to the one I was using with Thomas?
I would actually check out or clone a new directory, although I don't think it's actually necessary, but it feels better.
It does feel slightly safer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's try clone. Oops. But then I do actually have a directory by that name. So, oh god. Rename that. Share my screen while I'm doing this stuff. If I can find the window, no, lost it. One thing, actually, I've just thought of something. I wonder if... Just thought of something that I might add to the project thing, although maybe it's already possible, which is that when you open a new... When you kind of click that create Hangout button, it opens it in a new tab rather than a new window as a default. Because I'm using Safari, where it's quite hard to combine things. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm looking for this, so that I can do screen share. So, okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's exciting. Let's get rid of that because it's just going to confuse me. Okay. should get rid of any Sublime windows I've got open there, which will also confuse me. No. Okay, so tell me where to go.
I just created a small story in the features newsletter. I think features it's called.
Features newsletter form features.
Exactly. So where I wanted to make sure that some specific actions are privileged to a given set of users.
Mm-hmm.
And
just run some tests in the background. Will you tell me about it?
Mm-hmm. And so the interesting part on it was how to implement a quite easy, or I think the most interesting part on it is how to implement quite easy and reduced privilege checks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going with a custom constant of email addresses.
Yeah.
And this one you can find in the lib directory.
It's a bit weird. It looked like this coverage directory suddenly invented itself.
So there I have the Agile Ventures.
Okay.
Exactly. And this is quite, this is the easiest privilege check you can have, I guess. So I just create an array with privileged email addresses, and so I'm able to check for them in production or, as well as in my tests. So, and the colon, not the slash.
Okay. Yeah. That's everything in one go?
Pardon?
Is it DB set up to do everything in one go?
No. I think if you, I would. Did you check out this repository clean, or is it in your already existing?
I've put it in a new folder.
Okay, then I think I don't know if you have to adopt the database configuration, the database access settings. So, because I always just copy mine to the new directory, and so it all is set up.
Okay, I'm not sure how to do that. Is that?
Yeah, perhaps you already have this user.
So how do you copy a database across directories?
Not the whole database, but in your old website one repository where you actually are working in, you have under the config directory there's a database.yml, and I simply copy this one to the new directory. No, not DB, but I just take the config/database YML.
Config/database. Oops, not what I meant to do.
Exactly. That's this file, yeah. So, and this means you sound like you didn't adopt it to your needs, this database YML.
Okay, so just copy this to the same place. I see.
Exactly. If you didn't adopt it, then probably the vanilla version from the main website one repository just works for you. But I have a specific setup on my machine, and so I need always to adopt it.
Let's try. So So what was that? /config/
I wouldn't move it, but just copy it.
Oh right, yeah. Good point. What's the it's like CP? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oops. CP or copy?
It's just a CP.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. So let's just check that one. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see if we can do this better.
You probably get the warning that you have to migrate your database first. Exactly. Bingo. So, and I mean, to be sure, you can just run the cucumber tests, the high-level tests.
Okay. Should I do that before the aspect? I was gonna.
I would stop at aspect and just go like cucumber features newsletter form, I guess something like this.
Cucumber feature. That one.
Yeah. And normally I don't use cucumber because it's so high level that I do the most of my acceptance and feature specs just in RSpec.
Yeah, well, Cucumber is still pretty much new to me. I mean, it's so tremendously difficult, but I haven't actually used it for anything that I've created myself. So
this means at least these specs do pass, which means only privileged persons will be presented with a link to a new newsletter.
Do you mind if I run the whole aspect thing once before we go? Okay.
Yeah.
Always makes me feel slightly safer. Okay, I'm just going to go to the toilet while this is running.
Right.
Hi again. That's fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do we need to write some new tests? I mean, yeah. I don't. Do you want to show me around what's happening, or do you want to?
Exactly, because then I thought, well, I could check for this privileged thing which you have here in the controller directly or in the model directly. And so the first thing I do for displaying the link or not displaying the link is I added a function to the users presenter, which you find in app presenters, user presenter, I think.
Users presenter. User presenter. That one.
Exactly. And at the bottom, I added this function which says can create newsletter.
Is this valid syntax? I haven't seen this. I thought this always kind of followed.
Because I created an own namespace for Azure Adventures because this is under lib, and I'd like things to be a namespace so that it doesn't get polluted. And this simply checks if the privileged email is in this user's email. So, and deciding if, yeah, we can have a look at the app views, I think, profile something. Because there I check if.
Is it just profile? Something like that. Oh, let's have a look. What am I after here?
I think app views users, yeah.
Profile.
And there we have the detail HTML. So here we have it. Presenter can create newsletter. If yes, then I just made a dummy link to a new newsletter to be sure that the custom the cucumber tests will work.
Okay.
So, and the interesting part on it was now, because then I thought, well, I need to do it more abstract so that the whole logic doesn't get implemented just for this single newsletter stuff. And then I had a look at how can is implemented.
What's can?
Can is a nice access control gem for Rails also. And so I did parts of it, I replicated parts of it, which you can find in the application controller.
This bit.
Exactly. Here I do the.
Okay, yeah.
Here I introduce a function called check privileged, and so that I can use this method in a before filter, for example, on every controller I'd like to use it. And if this doesn't succeed because the current user isn't included in the privileged user, I created a custom exception, which is named Azure Adventures Access Denied exception. And then.
So this would be if someone who's not on the privilege list tries to go to a newsletter creation URL directly or something.
Pardon? Say.
Would this fire off if someone who's not on the privileged users list tries to go to a newsletter creation URL directly or something like that? Or
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because I make use of this check privileged function inside the app controller's newsletter controller.
Newsletter control.
So here I created a before action,
Yeah.
which simply says check privileged on the
Would check privileged go now? Sorry, I'm flipping out. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Getting mixed up between check privileged and is privileged.
yeah.
Okay.
So and this means in a before filter, it checks on the methods new, create, and update if the user can do that, and if not, in application controller I have a so-called rescue from exception function. Rescue from Agile Ventures access denied exception. And then I simply render the 403 HTML, which I had to generate because it wasn't there already. Which simply emissions and status of 403, which means access denied, and displays some simple error message.
Okay. What's this rescue from method? Is that where does this rescue method come from?
This is Rails internal.
Okay.
It's a kind of a hook. If some kind of exception arises on a given controller, you can rescue from this.
So this is if anything you would do while accessing this controller causes this particular exception, it will always call this.
Exactly.
Call this rescue from method. Okay, cool. That sounds handy. Okay.
And but this is how far I came, and I didn't check if this if this rescue from exception actually works, and this is what I planned to do next. So,
okay, as in with a test, or as in actually checking on the browser?
Well, we could do both. I think the more clean way is to write a test first, because I already created the spec controllers newsletter.
Yeah.
Specs.
Okay. So would this be a cucumber test?
No, not a cucumber test. Oh well, actually, probably the best way would be to write a cucumber test, but I'm not really used to using cucumber, and so I feel more comfortable and at home with writing aspect tests.
Yeah, you and me both. Okay, so where are aspect tests hiding? Yeah. So we got controls. Where was this? I've lost it now. The rescue from an application controller. So there's something here. I was like more spacing than this. Describe. So what's the experience here? What happens when?
Oh wait, I actually did there's an newsletters controller.
Oh.
Spec.
Oh. Oops. Oh yes. Yeah. Let's get rid of some of these windows. I don't like having more tabs open than I can see.
You shouldn't open more than, I think, 65,000.
Yeah. You definitely know you're going wrong if you step over that. Use that as control spec. Okay, so describe, delete, destroy, put update.
I think the most interesting part is I checked it that it won't rise an exception by creating a privileged user. Like in the before each loop, there's a function call to get privileged user, which is actually which I created under spec, I guess, spec helpers. I created a specific helper file.
To find it. Privileged user helper.
Exactly.
Okay. Privileged user. Get privileged user.
Is it?
What's take here?
Oh, take is like it's like first.
How does it differ from first?
This is a good question. I'd like to have a look because I think the take is quite new in Rails.
Maybe it means the same thing, but it's just for the human. If you're only expecting one member of the array.
When I see. I mean, I can. There are some results in Googling for Rails take versus first. Interesting. I think it has. Actually, it doesn't sound like. Because take returns an empty array, whereas first returns nil. If there is no such thing.
Okay. I mean, it sounds to me like, for most practical purposes, they're interchangeable. But maybe when I know more about how things chain, I'll think that. Okay, anyway, so we've got get privileged user, which is
I think I don't know if I got you.
Sorry, what do you mean?
I don't know. I think I couldn't follow your last paragraph, your last sentence.
Oh, I don't think it was. I can't remember what I said. I don't think it was relevant. I'm just reading this. So this is creating a new, a test account for every privileged email. Is that right?
Exactly.
Are you like? I feel like we should call it users or something in that case, or do we need to create more than one? I don't know if this is being really pedantic.
Because I think we should then write acceptance tests where all the users which are privileged should be checked if they actually are.
Okay.
And so I think this function or this method is quite.
Okay. Mind if I change the name to just be a plural?
No, you're fine.
Make me happier. Oh, it's just in this file.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then, before each, we get a privileged user. It's user.inspect.
Oh well, you can of course rip this this puts statement.
Do you want me to? Has it served its purpose?
It has.
I love that phrase. It's very evil overlord.
Also, this was my first things. Also this expect user to be a user. It's just to be sure that nothing crazy happens. I think it's not also at this point not necessary anymore.
Okay. This one here. line 36, did you say?
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Okay. So then I guess we want to, where are we? Panic. So, okay, so we wanted to test that. Is there anything in here at all about it at the moment?
We could create a scope like describe with unprivileged user or something.
Yeah. This. Is everything in here so far? This should we then create like describe privileged user for everything else we've got so far, or are there some other unprivileged?
Well, I don't know. I think because I think this should be the exceptional thing, and so I would just.
Enough.
Well, I mean, it's probably nicer if you do it like your try right now.
Okay. Rescue this exception.
Well, no, I think I would actually test, because I would test every single function which is called on this. Ah, you mean just as a description block?
Yeah. So I'm still. So this. Yeah, I'm kind of still only half here with what this line is really doing.
Okay, because this if whenever an exception is risen, I guess.
Yeah.
Then I make whenever an exception of type Agile Ventures access denied is risen, I make sure that this exception is rescued, like with try catch. No, begin rescue is in Ruby. This was Java, I guess. And in the rescue block, we make sure that the user which tried to access a prohibited action will be presented with a correct HTML status of 403, and also will be presented with this static HTML page.
Number 403 is? Is that the generic? Forbidden, yeah. Okay. So, if and then
I think, I don't know, I would just go like describe non-privileged do, and then it exactly. I think we should do these nice blocks for each of the functions on the controller also. Where's my spec?
So, how do you mean? So,
I would just more or less double the whole code which is there for the privileged user, which is not, yeah, and just take all the things and put it inside this unprivileged block. So to be sure that we check the new, the create, the update thing, and the destroy thing.
So, sorry, which code are you talking about? Oh, this bit here.
Like exactly like the describe get new would be one relevant block, like starting in line 50. No, starting in like
Describe get show 59.
exactly 58. I would start. Would take the whole 58 till 63 and put it inside this unprivileged, and of course adopt it. And this I would do probably with all the relevant.
So for each.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So we're sort of checking that they can do everything, except at some stage we'll say it's going to throw an error when they try and do the new one, I suppose. Or do you mean just the new one, or do you mean also like?
No, just the ones which aren't allowed to this user, like new, like create, like update and destroy, of course. And all these blocks I would simply rip from the top parts. Oh, now my.
I need this bit here for this one.
I guess I need to restart my browser because it's frozen.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute. Yeah. Back. Okay, this one shouldn't be necessary.
The invalid params.
Exactly, because up to this point, the user shouldn't get it at all.
Okay. Is there anything else we want? Update. Do we want this one as well?
The update?
Yeah. User presumably is updating, changing a newsletter. Presumably, I shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Just want the first one of those three, I guess. So get rid of these two.
Pardon?
I don't want to get rid of these two.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Update. Destroy. I guess we don't want them doing that either. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking they'd be able to do everything except create one. Probably not. Yeah, did I finish that off? Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So now we just kind of.
So, and I mean, all these actions, then they actually should simply redirect to 4 or 3, or should have a status of 4 or 3.
So how do I? It's capybara, isn't it? So, what's valid session? Same thing. Valid session be thing yet. Okay. So this get new. Is this capybara stuff?
Is this what?
Is this capybara syntax here, or not syntax? Well,
yeah, it is.
So what exactly is happening on these lines? So
well,
this is like get is as in sending a get request.
Get is yeah, it's the short for a get request on the action view.
Okay. And this what's this hash doing?
This the parameters you could like URL parameters you could pass.
Okay.
Which is empty in this case because
yeah. And this is valid session is also an empty hash.
Yeah, valid session is necessary for if the user is logged in and to check. Oh, not no, it's not the case. But you can have you can write something specific into the user's session and define that valid session in somewhere at the top of the file. If you expect something like last visit or anything like this.
Okay, and then the line below assigns. Is that also capybara?
Pardon?
Assigns
yeah.
Capybara again. Newsletter. What's that? What's this? Is this a method? Or,
what?
So what's this referring to? This symbol?
To the instance of the newsletter.
Okay.
Because actually this symbol newsletter is equal to newsletter.new.
Okay. So a newsletter should be a new newsletter. Okay. So and then, so what stage is this? Is this test here? Is this actually doing something at the moment which would trigger the 403 error? Or do we need to actually?
Actually, I guess it won't trigger any error because we would have to rewrite this describe get new thing in a way that it doesn't assign a newsletter, but that it renders a status code of 403 or something.
Are we then testing anything though if we just make it render a 403? Okay.
No, it should. We have to, of course, yeah. At the beginning, we have to create a user which is an unprivileged user because right now the whole scope is dominated by the privileged user.
Yeah. Yes. So. Where's it going? Unprivileged user helper.
We can just create. We can take factory girl and create an random user. And this should be unprivileged.
You'll have to tell me. I really should learn it, but at the moment, you'll have to tell me what to do with factory girl. really
Okay.
want to learn how to use it, but at the moment I don't know.
You can just go with it. Instance user equals factory girl create symbol user.
So instance, word instance.
No.
Or as in
the app.
instance.
The app.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so this means we can just set up
sorry.
We can just set up the session by copying the above code also, like the warden and the stop method for the authentication stop out for the controller, like it's written on the top also, but not for a privileged one. And then
this bit.
Exactly.
Valid attributes.
Perhaps we should then move also the above line, like when we create the privileged user inside the scope of the described privilege to. Otherwise, we could perhaps have some conflicts.
Sorry, so which line? So where? Sorry?
Like at the very top.
This line. The same line.
Exactly, because the first starting in 34, this before loop we should probably put in line 41.
So move this stuff to here.
Move it to the scope in the privileged user, exactly.
Okay, and then move this inside as well, or does this stay outside?
Which?
This line 26.
26. No, this could be outside.
Okay.
Because there's no difference. There's no difference for the attributes if it's privileged or unprivileged user.
Yeah. So does that mean we don't need it down here?
Exactly.
So user is factory girl.create. So what we're doing here is creating a user with basically no attributes, including no email, which is on the privileged list.
Yeah.
So that's kind of done as far as it needs to, I guess.
I mean, you can have a look at if you're interested, and you can have a look at the spec factories user factory to see.
Spec factory. Oops. Users. Okay.
So you see, it just fakes a random email, and so we should be sure that this random email is not by accident in my privileged user array.
Oh, I see. So this is every time we create something with factory girl, it's going to refer to this file here and do all of this stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. And something called the user specifically. Okay.
So I mean, at least I would think for every entity at the database level, there should be, if it's an active record model, then there should be a factory also.
Okay. I'm just going to take off my headphones actually because I'm not alone in the room anymore, and I mean I am alone in the room now, and they're starting to hurt. Sometimes this makes my sound go a bit crazy, so.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, fine.
Yes. If you're saying anything, I can't hear you.
Check. You can hear me?
I guess I'll just leave and re-enter. might just be able to change it here.
And
Try saying something now.
yeah, test. You can hear me?
Okay, I'll just leave and re-enter.
Hey ho. Are
Can
you?
you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Let me switch screen. Share back on. Oh, I've got to go in a minute. Let's get back to that file. There's so many methods in this thing. Like, yeah, so many gems that I've not
Yes.
used. Or just, where is this coming from? Where's it all coming from? But yeah, I don't know. I think people advise you not to, but I find whenever I know I'm going to be using a gem or a library or something a lot, I find that much happier with it if I actually spend like a couple, 2 or 3 hours at least, just really reading through the documentation, at least for the kind of common stuff. I think I need to do that for Factory Gal. Anyway, in the meantime, so we're creating a user. The user's got fake internet email. So how do we know what this fake email is going to be?
Yeah, you can't tell because it's random. I mean, it's not. I think they are in a way they are somehow limited, but it takes different phrases and words and glues them together.
Okay, so should we just assume that they're not going to randomly throw together any of the?
I'm 99% sure.
I think I got quite a lot higher than 99, but yeah. Sorry, I thought you were saying we should actually check that somehow, but I think I'm content to not check that if you are.
I wouldn't try to check it either because I rely on it now.
Yeah.
And it will be a really fun thing if we randomly pick the same email address.
So what's going on? So we're getting a new valid session. No, we're just sending a GET request.
No, I think we have one thing left. One thing there's left to do. We have to authenticate this unprivileged user also for this controller. And this is the warden. At the top of the file, there's a line which says stub controller method.
This one.
Exact. Request env and controller stub. These 2 lines we need also.
So request env.
Because
What's going on?
This is the most. I think this is the most big object in Rails because this is the whole request object where everything is written in. So it's quite interesting. For example, you can just paste it with a debug statement on your template, print it out, and see how big is it? How big it is. It's interesting. Pardon?
What are we talking about? Just this request object here.
Yeah.
Okay. So request warden. So this is just warden as an environment.
Yeah, it's a middleware. It's we do the authentication stuff with it.
Okay. Dot stub.
That means it stubs out a function.
Authenticate, presumably.
Exactly.
So that means on this line it's just going to
authenticate the given created user.
Okay. Which just means we can create a user with no attributes or something without it getting upset.
I don't know. I don't know if I got you.
So the idea of this bit here is we can now create a user with no attributes, and it won't get upset and refuse to authenticate the user because he doesn't have a name or something like that. Is that the idea?
No, it has to. The warden middleware takes actually the user object and says, well, this session. It's more like you can think of it like a session object, I guess. I'm not really. I have not much knowledge in detail about Warden itself. I just accept it as a middleware.
Okay. I think let me. I think I probably need to stop about here. I'm not sure exactly what time we have to head off, but we've got to catch a train. I'll just go and quickly ask my dad, but I suspect I'd better stop there so we have time to push the code.
Okay.
1 sec. Yeah, I need to head off, so let me push the code. So I do pushing this to. Do I just do git push?
Pardon?
I'm just wondering when I'm pushing it to. Is it just git push?
I don't know if you need to push it probably to your own repository and to a specific branch.
Yeah. Okay. So I probably need to create the branch.
Exactly.
What are we doing? Git push. Permission to ERP.
Yeah, because it's you need to add your own. Let me see. I don't know how to add your own. Git add.
Should have done this before, really.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Not having done this.
I haven't. Let me see. I paste it in the chat. So, and this should point to an existing repository of yours.
Okay, it's right. Add. Alright. I don't understand why my takeaway program is like the only one that shows up on Google. Okay, I might add origin. This rather than the main thing, if that works. Oh shit! I've already got an origin. How do I change?
Let me see. And then you could push it to a specific, create a new branch of this one. Let's see. Push.
If I just push it regularly, what happens? Managing to access your repository. Damn, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. Sorry, I should have been keeping an eye on the time better than this.
Let me see. Damn it.
Which was this?
When will you be here again? So because I think you get now kind of stressed out.
Yeah, not for a while. I don't wanna... Yeah, like not for like 4 or 5 hours probably.
I mean, this doesn't. Then I would say just push it in 4 or 5 hours, because then I would propose to just push it in 4 or 5 hours, because you look like, as I said, you get stressed out. And I don't care, because I need to. Actually, I'm at work, and I need to do something for money now.
Okay. Oh well, in that case, yeah, I'll sort it out when I get back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit easier. Okay. Cheers for that. I will see you possibly later on.
Yeah, it was nice. Ciao.
Yeah. Thanks for the session.
Ciao.